Watch me turn into a werewolf, and I will haunt till the break of dawn. Don't you dare to try to stop me. This is the horn of the Black Swan.
Light is on, brake, that's cool, left blinker, rapid flash, it's fine, right blinker, and hazards. Dope! Hey, what's going on, Insomniacs? Midnight Sun 518 here, and first upgrade for my motorcycle, Aero. You may or may not have seen a couple of videos with Aero ever, because I don't really do a whole lot of filming while I'm riding, just because I don't really have a whole lot of ways to film yet while I'm riding. I don't have like a Insta360 or anything like that to have sitting on the back or on the front. I just have the one GoPro that you're looking at right now. So, hard to get creative with one camera. Eventually though, maybe I'll be able to get some more riding footage out there for you. But let me show you what we are going to be doing today. So I bought a tail light off of eBay Motors. It's an integrated tail light. Came with 0 instructions, and all I saw were pictures online. So this is going to be super interesting. I'll put a link down below to that specific light. So if you guys have a Kawasaki Z650, specifically whatever generation the 2019 is, I don't actually know because I didn't pay attention to that. It probably goes up to like the 2022 version anyways because they look the same. But let me show you what we're working with. So basically the current turn signals have these rubber boots that are on the inside edge, right, and then they clamp into this very sharp-edged metal housing. Now, the original Kawasaki fender stuck like super far out, right, and it was plastic. I bought this fender delete kit, which just pushed the license plate holder inwards and put the mounts for these guys in here, but unfortunately it is very sharp-edged metal. So over time of me kicking these and all that sort of stuff, getting on and off the bike, it has absolutely shredded the rubber on both sides, and so you can see this one's already peeling off and this one has fallen off, which is why I have it stuck up there so it's not dangling down into my tire. But this light allegedly is going to be a integrated turn signal. Now, a lot of states that's illegal. Technically it's illegal in my state, but I'm going to go with it because I don't want to deal with these stupid turn signals, and if I get pulled over for it, oh well, that cop's a dick. So it's going to be replacing this light right here, and so instead of just having the brake beams, brake LED lights that are going across here, it's going to have on these corners, it's going to have turn signals. Now, one problem that I am anticipating that I haven't really thought of a solution to yet is rapid flash. So basically, whenever a light bulb goes out, like a blinker light or something like that goes out in your car, you'll notice a rapid flashing of your turn signal, and that's because the current draw for your lights is much lower now that you have less lights. Therefore, the little relay or whatever it is that controls the flashing aspect of your blinker is doubly as fast. So with LEDs, they draw less current than a normal turn signal or a normal halogen bulb, and what came stock on this bike are halogen bulbs. Now, they do make LED upgrades, but those come with like a ballast or like a ballast control unit, which basically adds resistors in line with that LED bulb to make it kind of seem like a halogen resistance-wise, at least when you're looking at the electrical side of things, so you don't get that rapid flash. So I don't know if I'm going to get that. It didn't say anything about whether or not you would or would not have rapid flash having this new tail light installed, but I'm going to put it all together, and if I have rapid flash, I have rapid flash. Crossing bridges when I get there. Like I said, no instructions. So we're going to hop right into it. Let's take this thing apart. So for those of you that have never owned a motorcycle, just kidding. Specifically, the Kawasaki Z650 has a little keyhole on the bottom right here, and I'm gonna need 2 hands. So you twist that, and then you pull up on the strap or whatever, and then this unlatches right there, and you can pull out the seat. Now, my battery is super easy to get to because it's just underneath this seat, and so I'm gonna undo one of the battery terminals. Got the battery unbolted, and I'm taking a peek in here, and it looks to me like it's only these 2, looks like 8mm bolts holding the tail light in place, and then of course we got this little clip here at the top. Now we can look at the back of this one as like a reference. Yeah, it's got that little clip on the top, and then those 2 bolts right there. So I'm gonna take those out, and then I'm gonna unplug the wiring harness for the tail light, and I'll figure out where this wiring harness is running for the turn signals as well, because it's gonna be going through this bar and then coming out somewhere probably underneath this little cross member right here. So we'll take a look at it. So it looks to me like this trim line running along the edge of the light is going up underneath these pieces of the fairing. So we're gonna have to pull this off, which has an 8mm bolt here, an 8mm bolt here, and then whatever the heck this hex head is, probably like a 4, I don't know. We'll take a look at it. So I ended up taking off the fender flare. We're gonna take off the other one as well, just because it's gonna make it a little bit easier as well. It's not hard to take off, because I believe I'm gonna have to pull this one off, or at least be able to fold it down. And so basically, you have a, oh, I was right. It's a 4mm Allen head that goes into that little bolt right there, right? This is sitting right alongside here. And then you slide the whole fender flare backwards and then out, because we have these little hook tabs on the inside that hook into each of these 3 positions right here. With those fenders off, we'll be able to pull this down, which releases this guy, the back light, and then running along the right side of the bike here is the plug. It was sitting right down up against that little black tab in there, and that is the plug for the tail light. Now, what I'm really curious about is how these wires are set up. So here's the old light. And it looks like 3 cables. We got a blue, a red, and then a yellowish black. Now on the new light, we have 5 cables. So these 3 that are tied together, we've got a blue, a red, and a black. I'm assuming are going to be equivalent to this one right here. And then the yellow and the white are probably going to be for our turn signal. Okay, so I lined up the plugs. They don't fit tightly. I'll have to figure something out with that one. But if you look at the clip side of this plug, the cables go black, blue, then red. So I'm hoping that this light is running the same way. So running from the clip side, we're going black, blue, and then red, sitting on each of the contacts. So I'm gonna plug the battery back in, and I'm gonna turn the bike lights on, and we'll see if this light kicks on and if the brake works. Battery's connected, moment of truth, please work. And it did. The light is on. I'm gonna do brake, and that didn't do jack all. All right, crisis averted. So it's actually gonna be black, red, and then blue, because of course they're gonna make it freaking different than what it was before. But now we have regular tail lights and brake lights. And so with the other one, the brake lights were just continuously on. It works with the front and the rear. I know what I'm gonna do. So instead of pulling the wires out of this connector, I'm just gonna cut the wires from the connector somewhere up here, maybe a little bit further down, and then I'm just gonna strip and recrimp the wires, and then I'm also gonna trim off all these pieces off. I'm gonna strip and recrimp in the order that they're supposed to be. So was that black, red, blue? That way I still have the watertight connector on the end, and I don't have this weird setup. So I'm gonna do that. Okay, so before I do anything else, I'm gonna make sure that I have my wires all on. And yes, I know the blue and the red are swapped for this because they were swapped on this plug. I'm gonna go ahead and plug it back in, just like that. Okay, we got a brake. Awesome, it works. I'm gonna go ahead and pop down that heat shrink on everything. and then we'll start getting the light mounted in place. So I'm gonna take these bolts off right here, or these nuts. They're holding on my fender delete, because that's gonna give me access to underneath this bar. Gotta love southern weather. Figured out where the turn signals are running to. So they are going to these two plugs right here, which is actually super convenient. So, going off of the fact that there is a black and yellow on this one, and a black and yellow on this one, and it just so happens that there is a black and yellow on this one that we hooked up to the black ground, I'm going to say that's the ground cable. So the green is going to be the one that we're going to want. I have both turn signals wired up. Right turn signal, and this is going to be looking at it like that. And then left, and hazards. Cool. So as you can see, the rapid flash that I was talking about, that's because these are LEDs. Sadly, that's how it's going to be until I get a resistor in there. However, that's pretty neat. Oh, it even does a like a Z pattern for the standard running lights. That's pretty cool. Let's get this all prettied up. So I'm going to get these black wires probably snipped right down to the edge here. I'm going to get this shrink wrapped so this is all good and sealed up, and then we're going to button it all up. Kick the lights on. Light is on. Brake. That's cool. Left blinker. Rapid flash. Fine. Right blinker. And hazards. So there you have it. The eBay essentials. I don't know. So that install took a little bit more time than I was kind of hoping for. I was expecting it, but obviously you hope for less. I was not thinking I was going to do as much wiring as I did. Granted, it's all easy stuff, you know, clip, trim, strip, and crimp. It's really not hard. But I was hoping I didn't have to do that. Anyways, it's on there. It looks pretty decent. I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do about that rapid flash later on. I think I'm going to swap the front lights with LEDs as well. And then I'll just go onto Google and see what other people are doing on motorcycles for their, like, changing the flasher module or something like that. Because they make kits, like LED kits for your bike to upgrade from your halogen bulbs that'll get rid of all of that. And I don't even think I'm going to have to do any inline resistor type of thing. But anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, please drop a like and a subscribe. I don't really know how many more upgrade type things are going to be happening on this bike, Aero, because this is not my end-all bike. I do very much like this bike, but I want something bigger and badder. So I am currently selling Aero, but I had to get that turn signal thing fixed before I sold it. And putting the new crappy OEM ones on really wasn't my idea of something I wanted to do before I sell it. Anyways, the next bike though, it's going to be a project bike just like Project Speed and Project Overland. But I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll catch you next time. And that's on out.